So we know that 71% of creative people spend more than half of their time on non-creative tasks. So let's try to change that. There are 4 breaks for a fluid creative review. There are growing demand for visuals, too many manual tasks, unclear or incomplete returns, and deadlines out of control. So for the first point, the move towards social networking driven digital marketing is generating explosive demand for marketing visuals. There are new platforms, there are multiplications of localized versions, and demand for real-time responsiveness. So all this is more visual to produce, to validate, to distribute in less time. There are also more than half the time spent by creative teams is devoted to administrative tasks. 50% of creative teams are reminders, reporting, follow-up. There are delays due to the lack of automation, and there is a lack of overall project visibility. So there's less time to create and more mental workload. The creative teams report also how complex it is to obtain quality feedback. They are unstructured or imprecise returns, long email threads with no clear follow-up, and a difficulty annotating visuals and videos. So that's multiple repeats, misunderstandings, loss of time, and motivation. And finally, there's also a failure to meet deadlines for creative exchanges, and this has a very negative impact on business. Feedbacks arrive too late. The follow-up by Excel files or email are not synchronized, and no one really knows where the project stands. So this delays frustrating teams and campaigns that start late. So with the creative workflow, there are 3 strategies for solving creative review challenges. First of all, the creative workflow is here to create, validate, and deliver faster. There is going to be a clear tracking of the status of each creation, precise feedback even on videos, automatic notifications to avoid delays, and less administration, more creativity. So the first strategy is for minimizing the administrative burdens on teams. Creative workflow is designed with this in mind. Share and centralize progress, automate validated and repeatable workflows, and notify teams at the right time. The second strategy is for improving feedback quality. The creative workflow can enable clearer, better structured, and more useful feedbacks. There are a clear view of feedbacks and how it is being taken into account. Comments adapted to complex formats like videos. Management of versions and comparison of these versions. And targeted validation notification. And for the last, the strategy is for also improving indexing quality of finished creations. So all the metadata, all the assets will be indexed, an indexing form adapted to every content type. We can increase productivity with mass tagging and automatic translation, and also tag by EIA. So we've seen the 3 strategies for the creative workflow. I just have an example here of a client that already uses this solution. So it's for Michelin. They use it to share, validate, and publish their pack shots with their agency, the person in charge of the availability of his assets, and a technical expert. So now that I'm done with this introduction context, I will let Vincent present the creative workflow with a small demonstration.
Thank you, Malaïka. So sharing my screen. You should see here our environment for the demonstration. This is a travel agency, so that's why we have those images of nice vacations. And here the idea is that we want to publish new content. And for that, as you may have guessed, we will use the workspaces from the creative workflow. So Let's click here on the header to the workspaces link. And this is where we will find all the previous campaigns or shootings that we have published. Here, the idea is that we want to create a new one because we want to publish our new cocktail card for 2025. So here, let's create a new space. At this stage, we have to fill in the name. So let's call it Campaign Cocktail 2025. And here we can define where will go the assets once validated. So we can choose the universe or the space where they will belong. So here we'll select assets. And at this stage, we can also upload a work document or more work documents because we want to brief our partners on what they have to produce. So for example, we can add them here PowerPoint or Word document to explain what we expect from them, which timelines are expected, and maybe we can also add some guidelines on the brain guidelines you may want them to use. Also, we can attach a link. For example, if you have a SharePoint or WordPress or whatever you have internally, you can link it from here. And on the next stage, we have to invite the team members because a space is a collaborative way of validating content. So here we want to add people that will upload the content that they have created, and also the people that will review and validate this content. So for that, we have access to the list of DAM users. So we can here invite agencies. We can invite also people that will validate the content and add them to the space. You can note also that at this stage, we can invite people because maybe you want to work with external people that don't belong to the DAM at the moment. So you can invite new users from this screen. And once accepted and validated by the DAM admins, they will have access to the space. So if I click now on invite, you'll see that invitations have been sent to the users. So they have received an email saying that they now have access to a space and they know that they have some content to produce. So for that, once you connect on the space, you can here read documents that have been shared so you know what you have to produce. And you can work on your own, on your, let's say, creative tools to create your documents and import them to the space. So let's click on Import Assets, and you can import in bulk all your content that you have produced. So it can be a mix of any type of documents you have, images, videos, documents, creative tools, whatever you have produced. Here, documents are being uploaded, and we generate a thumbnail for all type of assets. And first step, we here identify the duplicates because obviously the goal of the DAM is that it is the single source of truth. So you don't want to have any duplicate in our database. So we identify this for you and you can decide if you want to keep it or not into your DAM system. So once the content has been uploaded, the idea here is that we as a team review the content that has been shared. So you can do it one by one or in bulk. We'll see that later. And you can use this simple workflow here, approval workflow, to reject or approve the content that you may want to use, that you don't want to approve. So here, for example, this one is a bit too dark, so we'll reject it. This one's fine, so we'll approve this one. But we can also make comments directly into the image that has been shared. So for example, we can here use this add a comment button, and you can directly tag where you want to change something and who is responsible. So for example, here, we want to have to change the logo because this is not the last version of it. And we can tag using the add button, the responsible of this modification. So here it will be the agency. And when I save this comment, the agency is directly notified by email and inside of the application. So they know they have something to change and they know what they have to do and where. So it's a way to improve the feedback quality. So let's ask them also to change the color because yeah, green is not really nice for a cocktail. And now they know that they have something to work on their own. And they can directly, from the versions tab here, add a new version of this production here. So let's choose this one here, upload again. And you'll see that we store here all historical actions that have happened. So we know that we have version 1 and 2. And you can also, as the owner of the space, compare those two versions all together. So you can use the different views to quickly see that content have been modified and is now okay. So you can go back to the comments tab. If needed, you could be able to add new comments if you want to continue the modifications, or you can just say that, yeah, thank you, it's okay. And close as well the, the notification, so the comments, so it's clear for you. Once everything is ready, you can just approve from this drop down here, the workflow. And the last step is go to the metadata tab. So here, for example, you'll find your regular form that you may already know. You already have this on the upload screen. And now we have something maybe that you don't know yet. It's the caption generated automatically by AI. For that, we just have to click on generate, and the AI will automatically generate a caption, nice caption, quite precise, that describe the image. So here it says glasses of orange cocktail garnished with rosemary and citrus slices on a wooden tray. That's a nice caption. If I don't like it, I can change it. I'm an admin, I can do whatever I like it here. And everything will be also automatically translated to your different languages of the DAM application. So here, for example, I have French and German. Everything has been translated automatically. And this is also the case, by the way, for all your texts and metadata, free texts in this form. Everything is translated automatically. So here, this is quite a nice way to accelerate the way you contribute. Maybe you don't have even more, you don't even have to fill the keywords, for example, if you like this caption. Once you're ready, you can click on the Publish Assets button. All your assets that are ready to be published are selected. I mean, the one that have been approved and the one with all metadata, mandatory metadata that have been filled in. So once ready, you just click on Publish, and those assets will be removed from the space because they are now published into the DAM system, and we keep all the ongoing assets, meaning those that you still have to approve before they are published into the DAM system. Obviously, all these actions can also be done in bulk. So you can, for example, directly approve all assets from here. Same goes with the indexing screen. You can do the same actions in bulk and select all your assets, or maybe unselect one of them only to apply all the metadata from this, for example, shooting here. So it's a nice way to contribute in a quick way, I would say. Once it's done, we can still go to another step, because sometimes you may need to have other validations from different users. And for that, you can select different assets that have been approved already, but you want this time another approval from another team, let's say. So you just have to click here on the Ask for Approval button. And from here, you can select team members that already belong to the space that will have to approve again the content because they are, for example, asset from the legacy team, let's say, or legal team. Here I'm selecting 2 people. I'm adding them as approvers. And when I click here on request approval, you can see here the thumbnails that 2 people have to approve this content before it is published. So they received emails and they just have to click if they want to approve or reject these assets. That's a nice way for you to go further than the, let's say, simple workflow approval that we offer on the first screens. So that's a way to go belong what you have. Also wanted to show you that as space owner, you have some options. Obviously, you can manage the documents. You can at any time add new documents to the space. You can also share the link to your different users and add new team members at any stage of the workflow. And you can also here modify all and edit all the information from the space. And something maybe interesting is that we can change the ownership, because as the space owner, maybe you can go to vacation, let's say, and you may want to add something, someone instead of you as the owner of the space. So that's something easy to do here and give the ownership to anyone else. If I go back here to my workspaces, you'll see that I have here all the different spaces that I have access to. Obviously, you have to be included in the team members to see a space. So that's a way to guarantee you that you will only see the spaces that you are supposed to see. And if you have a lot of spaces, we give you the ability here to search inside of the spaces lists. So you have the full text search here. You have different sort options as well to filter and sort by, for example, the recent dates. And we also offer you different layer options. So list or block can be used from this screen. When the space has been finished, like the campaign is ready, you can also archive or delete the space so that it's more clean for you. And archived workspaces can still be displayed if you want to access a previous space. So that's basically it for the workspaces and how we work with creative workflow. So if there is any question, I can answer it quickly. And if not, that's it for the day.
So I hope it's clear for everybody. Do not hesitate for questions, or you can just ask me by email if you have any. I will send you the replay so you can share with coworkers or colleagues. Okay, so if there is no question, thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you.